Good morning. Good morning.
Buenos dias.
Welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. Happy Tuesday, September 6th. Oh my goodness. You know, I cannot see a thing.
Neither can I. Awesome.
This is so weird, Gladiator Guru. Like, why can't I see anything? It's like pitch black over here. What's it like over for you?
Yeah, no clarity.
No clarity. Oh my goodness. So can we take our masks off now?
Yes.
Okay, good. You had yours off. All right, you're taking yours off. There we go. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. I am the badass Buddha, Lori Monaco, coming to you from a very rainy but much needed rain. We've had rain for it's going on almost 24 hours in southern Connecticut. So it's thank goodness because we've needed it. And happy day after Labor Day. Hope everybody had a nice holiday weekend and enjoyed themselves. And my daughter's first day of back to school. We go back late here. So I will have to do my mom duties. Remember, it's been a while. I will excuse myself for a few minutes to get her on the bus. And plus it's raining, so I'd prefer to do that. But anyway, so good morning. Who's my fabulous co-host? Look at this.
Buenos dias, mi gente. Aquí con la Margarita, your gladiator guru. It's sunny here in Tampa, Florida. I'm sure it's hot, but here we are. Good morning. And yes, Bridgeport schools was last week. Florida school started the first week of August, so I guess they all trickled down. I always thought it should have always started after Labor Day. That makes the most sense, doesn't it?
It does. I think so. Absolutely.
But then half of this never is about sense. So if you really look at it, it's just supposed to go with the flow. So I am so happy to be here today, this beautiful Tuesday morning, mi gente. It's always good. I got I think it was 6:40 something in the morning. I get a messenger. I think I was about to get in the shower, and it's one of my Camino friends. He's actually I did the Camino with him 5 years ago through France, and he's doing the Portuguese one right now. So cool. I sent him a message saying sorry. But yeah, so what do we do? What are we? We're happy. What are you doing right now, Monaco? What's in your cup?
Did you say Marco or Monaco?
Monaco. Sorry. Monaco.
What's in my cup? I'll show you what's in my cup because I went and got something different, and now it's coming to fall. So sweetie pie ground coffee. I know you don't like your flavored coffees, but I haven't had flavored coffee in a while, and I was enjoying it. But then I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna have some of that today. So I'm having my flavored coffee in my Hamsahan mug. No Viva mug today. And it's actually pretty tasty. I just have it with some almond milk, and it's pretty good. Oh, we have some morning people. So good morning, Tiffany, Georgianne, I got your text. I totally forgot to send you back the answer. Friday's fine, girlfriend. You can do Friday. Don't worry about the other 2 days. That's what it's open for. So if it's a go, just text me back and say, yep, I'm going to definitely do Friday. Milagros, good morning. And lovely. We're so glad you're all here. Please don't forget to share and let everybody know that you are watching live, because today, remember, we started on Thursday. This is all about you. This is one big, massive month-long coaching session. Each day we're going to keep doing different things, and today is no different. What's today? What are we talking about today, Gladiator Guru? And then we want to hear all about your coffee, your poetic coffee.
So I'm seeing Tiffany, Georgian, Milagritos, Cariño, and Tiffany again. I love when they. Good morning, buenos dias, welcome. Welcome. You're always so, I was speaking to the badass Buddha the other day, how there's on social media, because I guess the holiday seasons are starting, where they say, where either you hold up a sign or they're doing their own business and they're saying to support family and friends, small businesses, entrepreneur goals, that, before you support celebrities who don't even know you. And I've been seeing that all around and I love it. And I just want to say thank you, because although this is a phenomenal talk show, you are always here. You are always showing up. You're always supporting. You're always sharing. You talk to people about us. Some of you bring new people on, like Iritza, hola, mi reina. And, we appreciate that because we are that small business.
That's right.
We are that, we're that, what's his name? The train, Thomas,
Thomas the Train.
We're popping along because you know what? We are on the right track and it doesn't matter what speed we go. What matters is that we are consistent. So, gracias.
And there are also even some of our tribe are small business owners too. I know Georgianne has started her business and on the side, and then little by little. I mean, that's the whole point: is you start these things, and then eventually they can become the main thing instead of just the side hustle. So it's really important for us to do. I love that you said that. So thank you. And speaking of, you have the coffee business, you have your coffee beans, and hopefully you're going to be, once you get back from Puerto Rico, you're going to start roasting some stuff, because you probably have a lot of people that are going to be looking forward to celebrating the holidays with your coffee.
Yes, and that's what I'm drinking. Naturally Orgasmic Cafe, but this one is, look at, I've been messy. This one is my Colombian Supremo. My favorite was my Ethiopian, but this is my Colombian Supremo. It's not as heavy, but it's okay. It did the trip today. So thank you. What is coffee? What is coffee? People like, oh, I need coffee. It's like the fuel to start my day. And I don't know. I drink coffee. It's a habit. I just grab it. And then you got people like, oh, I can't wait to have your coffee when I'm in Connecticut. And then they'll call me and they'll be like, I got a headache. I do because I didn't have coffee this morning. Wait a minute. You can't be a coffee lover if you have one of the you get up in the morning, right? Right? Like that's like brushing your teeth and then you go and you have coffee. I don't care how late I am. I'm not leaving the house until I brew my coffee. I'm so sorry. You don't understand. Like, even this is, I will not leave the house, leave a hotel, leave anything, anywhere, even on the camino, right, Petey? Unless I have my coffee.
That's devotion.
And because I consider like coffee, it's my lover, it's my best friend, it's my confidant, it's my sounding board. It's all of that. So how could you just get up and say, oh my God, I'm late, let me just get somewhere? What am I saying when I do that? What am I not seeing when I do that? If I love coffee, it's just since 3 years old, I've always drink coffee in the morning. And then I'm running late or somebody's beeping the horn because they came a little early. I don't know. You figure it out. And then I'm rushing and I don't do what I love.
Yep.
What? To rush because I'm either late for somebody's job or somebody's appointment, or somebody's early who showed up to pick me up, or they're expecting me to do something early. Guess what's going to happen? You will wait. And I will be late. But I will have my cafe con leche. Even if I have to grab a black coffee, I will grab it. But that's just me. I try to stay true to what I like. And it's not routine. It's about what I like. if push comes to shove and there's like I spill the last coffee that I have, then I have to drink hot tea. But it's still, I'm not taken away from me to show up for anybody else. I show up for me first. So, rapam, go ahead, badass. I see your
Well done.
mic.
I'm trying to get people, I'm sharing everything. So I was so happy that you were saying that. Remember, share this because this is about, again, this is the month long taking control and taking action of your life, free coaching for the month. And we want you to have those paper and pencils, a pen and paper or whatever. And then we want you to, if you miss part of it or you can't listen to all of it, then join us, at the replay. Just come back and watch it, and you'll like see where you left off. And say, oh, I have to go to work. Let me listen to the rest of it. Gail Kraft is on. Good morning, and Gail started us with that conversation on abandonment last Thursday. So here's the way we're going to really recommend it to you: is listen to the videos or watch the videos all month. If you can get there live, great, but also on replay. Don't just listen to it one time, and go from that Thursday with Gail Kraft, last Thursday, abandonment, and then make sure that you hit them. So what are we looking at? We're looking at how many in a month. It's 8 sessions, right? It would technically be about 8 sessions in a month, approximately. So 8 sessions, and I actually think it comes out to 9. I think there's one little in between. So there might be about 8 or 9 sessions that are going to be playing off of each other. So rewatch them. Okay. We're not just saying that so we get views, although that's nice, but rewatch them so that if you missed something, if you missed a piece of it, rewatch it so you could take your notes. So that's why I'm putting in my shares, that I'm making sure that everybody knows that this is live coaching sessions, live coaching all month. So you are all right. So let's do let's set the intention for today, while I finish doing this, and we'll do the mantra, and then we'll get going. All right. So here we go. Setting our intention for today, as always, on Viva Cafe con Leche. Our intention is to be intentional and
Grateful.
go ahead, add to that while I finish typing.
You got to be intentional, but before you can be intentional, this is what all these, for the rest, starting with Gail and ending at the end of the month, is going to be about, is be intentional and do everything you do with intention and gratitude, but do it walking your truth. I'm so tired of people claiming to be authentic, and they are the fakest motherfuckers you can meet. And if there's anybody who knows me on here, I know Iris is like that. I don't do fake. I'm not in your face anymore. Like, why are you even talking to me? I don't even like you. I don't do that anymore because I try to maintain my composure. Maybe it's because I'm getting older. I don't know. Maybe it could happen later if I run into somebody like that. But what I'm saying is, when you're going to walk in step with intention, and it's going to flow easily because you're doing in gratitude, then make sure you're walking in your truth. Don't do it to impress anybody or try to get attention. Walk in your truth, because what you'll end up, the movie you're going to end up seeing at the end of the night when your pillow hits the head and you're reviewing the day, is going to be the movie where you wrote it, where you produced it, where you directed it, and you were the main character in it. That's the kind of intention, done in gratitude, you want to do throughout the day. We're not going to always get to do what we want to do, but it's not about always doing what we want to do. What we got to do is, when we're present in any scenario, in any situation, walk in your truth. Be who you are. And it's going to be painful and uncomfortable, and nobody might not like you in that scene on that day. But at the end of the day, who gives a shit? As long as you walk in your truth. And when you're doing what you're doing, that's when the light is always shining. That's when you come alive. But when you're not walking in your truth, being intentional, gracing it with gratitude, you're always going to feel like something's missing, like somebody's judging you, like somebody's looking at you, like you don't like this, and walk in your truth. That's how you be intentional and grateful while you're doing so.
And I want to add, and if I can add to that too, Gladiator Guru, that Your truth is your truth, and it's ever evolving as you are ever evolving. Walking in your truth and living your truth and speaking your truth and all the truths out there does not necessarily mean that you have to share every bit of yourself with people.
You
Like
shouldn't.
you are allowed to have things kept to yourself, and you are not defined by people's expectations of you. I've learned this actually the last couple of weeks, and I am probably one of the most open people around. And I've learned that sometimes when if I'm too open, people have an expectation and they throw it at me, and then it made me question my truth and my authenticity. And I went from being upset because I don't like intentionally upsetting people. I don't like doing that or disappointing people. But I then I question myself, am I being authentic? And then I had to sit there and think about it and said, I am my truth. Like what I provide for people and do for people is definitely my truth. What you see is what you get. And if my exact life doesn't align with your expectation, and you think that I've led you to believe something else, then I'm going to work on that piece of it. But I'm not going to own all of that, because I am where I am and doing what I'm doing the best to my abilities at this point in time, as we all are. And that's the beauty of what we're going to be talking about this month, is the fact that you are only as good as you are right now. Everything that happens to you is a learning lesson. And so even for the last 2 weeks, some of the things that have been happening in the last 2 weeks, or one particular thing, it's made me reevaluate things, and I'm very grateful for what occurred. But I also am owning the fact that I am still who I am, and I do a good job at what I do, and I love what I do. And so for expectations to not have been met by others, I'm going to work on pieces of that, but I'm not going to take ownership of that. And it was very enlightening for me. But again, the beauty is to take what you can with it, and then decide what pieces need to be worked on. Am I being as authentic as I need to be for myself? Am I where I want to be? That's the other piece. And so that's what this is all about. You have to, anything that comes up, you have to look at it within yourself. And that's what the big talk is. So let's do our mantra, and then let's get on with the
Let's
show.
talk, because I want to go back, because when you walk in your truth, your core values never change. You never change. Doesn't matter who you
They're
speak.
based on it.
You don't share everything with everybody, because
Right.
you don't want other people's opinions and negative energies coming in. But your core values from when you began your walk with truth, or if you've always been walking in your truth, they should never change, regardless of the situation, regardless of the person. Listen, I am Margarita, whether I'm with the Pope and the president, so when I'm with the janitor and the sanitation workers out on the street. If you like me, fine. If you don't, go fuck yourself. That is not my problem. And the thing is, when you try to please people and let people know, no, my cousin, I used to tell you, she would call me a prude or that I was isolating. No, I am who I am. I speak to whom I want to speak to. I engage with what I want to engage with. Sometimes I'll speak a lot, sometimes I won't. But people are different, and they shift like the wind and still call themselves authentic. And that's your life to live. That's not mine. Just don't try to shove that shit down my throat. What I'm saying is, when you are who you are, be who you are at the core value.
Yes.
And you know what? Sometimes we do gotta smile to walk out of a situation without being arrested. That's not meaning you're fake. That means you're playing the tune that you will dance with. Like, all right, it's all right, I'll leave. And you walk away from it. That's for your own safety. But your core values is, why are you walking away? Because your core values didn't allow anybody to push you around. Now the buttons will push. So I think this is what this conversation is about. Be true to who you are inside, your core values. Don't let nobody sway you. If you get upset at something somebody's doing, why? Mantra time.
All right, here we go. And then we're going to pose 3 questions that are going to follow suit the whole entire month with every show that we talk about. So here we go. Good morning, Eileen King in the house. All right. So Mantra, get ready. Here we go. I am a disruptor.
I am a disruptor.
I am unapologetically courageous.
I am unapologetically courageous.
I am spiritually grounded.
I am spiritually grounded.
I am magically orgasmic.
Ole.
And I am beyond authentic.
And I keep it real.
All right, here we go. So
and you said Eileen King is on?
Yeah, Eileen M. King in the house. And Desiree.
Eileen, I hope you heard what I said, because I wish you can add and you know me. Eileen was the HR director at one of my jobs. She knows. I kept it real. Director, supervisor, manager. Boom. I was in your office quite a bit. Go ahead.
All right. Okay, so the questions that we're going to pose every single show for this month, okay? 3 questions. We're going to put them in the chat. We want you to write them down if you can write them down right now, but they will be in the chat and then, or the comments, and then you can write them down later. But here we go. What in your life are you truly not blanking? Okay. So today's conversation is, what are you not seeing? So today's question is, what in your life are you truly not seeing? Okay. What in your life are you truly not seeing? But you can leave it as a blank. How is it affecting your life? How is it affecting your life? So that's question number 2. And question number 3 is, what are you going to do about it? Okay. So we're going to identify the things that you are truly not blanking in your life. Seeing, Thursday will be hearing, feeling, all these things. Okay. Saying, and then how is it affecting you? So if you don't feel that it's affecting you all that much, then there's nothing to do about it, right? But if it is affecting you, then you want to consider doing something about it. So I'm going to type those in and let's start that conversation. First off, let's define for them, Gladiator Guru, what we mean by what are you not seeing? What do we mean by that?
Well, I think you're doing the outside part.
Well, right? I can type it though. I'm just giving. I just can't do both. I can't talk and type at the same time.
All right, so I'll talk about something else, because you're doing because I want to talk more about the inside seeing.
But you're just explaining. You're just roughly explaining it.
Yeah. We're blinded by a lot of things in life, and then we want to blame everybody around us. I think for the most part, Vidi, you're saying Morieto's here. Hi, brother. When we don't walk in our truth, we always want to blame our parents. We want to blame our environment. I think we're so adaptable. We live, we learn, we love, we adapt. And when we don't participate in ourselves, in our growth, in our learning, in our productivity, in our consciousness, then we want to blame everyone and everything, every person, place, or thing that we were around. And it's easy to do that. I think there are times we can reflect back and say, well, like the book I'm writing, Come Hug Me, because I wasn't hugged enough. But the book doesn't talk about it's about come hug me. Like, I'm ready for you now. But I had to learn how to hug and hug trees and and just hug people. So I think what are you not seeing? What was the question? Not seeing the next steps in my life. Yes. Why? What are we? And let me tell you, it's not easy, because both the badass Buddha and I have made, we're not going to go into it, but we do want to share one thing. We have both made some very tough decisions where the decision, like, we knew it was there, right? It was here. It's like this. And you feel like you got water in your ears. You got to make a decision, but the indecisiveness was killing me.
And me. Yep.
And we had to and we talked about it to each other, but we didn't ask each other, what should we do? We would say, this is where we're at. This is what we're feeling. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah. There was a lot of what the fuck conversations.
So then you have to make major decisions. But the reason we're doing this is to learn, or to remind ourselves, and to teach, right? We cannot not make a decision and blame the world. What you are not seeing on the outside is, what are you not seeing out there? Is that 3 questions? What are in your life truly not seeing? When you're not seeing that you are everything, the writer, the producer, the director, the main star, the top of the chart star in your story, then you know you got to make decisions. We made our decisions, but getting there, it was difficult. It was sleepless nights. It was, not focused. It's not being dedicated to what we normally do because everything was so heavy and lopsided. Then we made the decisions. And it's like, it feels so much better. It feels like the elephant's off my chest that I didn't even know was there because I was blaming everything else. Because we are going to peak and valley. Okay, go ahead.
So what are you not seeing is there's 2 sides to this.
Mm-hmm.
There is, what are you literally not seeing outside in your world, like in your world, in your home, in your environment, period. Okay. And then the other piece is, what are you not seeing within you? Okay. And the indecisiveness comes from the fact that we do this. Like, we're like, I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this. So I don't want to see it. We don't want to face things. And then we expect to have a decision about something. And so that indecisive, and it's a process. So when Gladiator Guru and I were talking about how we would, we would get together and we would talk and we would fuck everything around as we're talking about it, that was the process. You have to first start to see it and talk about it. And then you have to start clearing it out, and you have to start it's like putting on a pair of glasses that is all dirty, and then you're like, damn it, you have to recognize the fact that you can't see through the glasses. Yeah. So then you take them off, and then you rub them, and then you put them back on, and like, oh, they're still crappy. And then you take them off and you rub them again and you clean them, and you have to keep clearing and clearing and clearing. So, and understand something, Gladiator Guru and I've been doing this a long time, right? We've been coaching for years. We have had lots of epiphanies over the years. Hers longer. She's been living her truth a lot longer than I've been living mine. But it's still, you run into roadblocks. And so there's this expectation that some people have all their shit together and everything goes smoothly in their lives. No, because that's the way it works. At some point, things go smoother for a longer period. But when you reach a crossroads, and if your clarity is good, you'll know exactly which path to go on. But when your clarity is not good, and how does clarity not get good? How do we not see how do we miss things in our environment? Because we get very distracted with so many other things. We put unrealistic expectations on ourselves. We give ourselves responsibilities that we don't need to take on. And with that just adds and adds and adds. And what it's doing is it's blocking our vision, and it's blocking our vision on the external side, but it's also blocking our internal vision. And I want to say thank you to Gail, because Gail posted like what she just put right up there. She just put she answered the question. If you feel comfortable, answer the question. And good for you, Gail. And we love what you wrote. And we love what you're doing. And this is fantastic because it all helps. Good morning, Stephanie Nieves. We're so happy.
Yes, freckle face.
And we also have, who else is on here? We have Grace Sanchez and Doris Latore. If I pronounce your names wrong, I'm so sorry.
Listen, but when Desiree says that just because it looks amazing doesn't mean it's coming at the right time for you. It will show up again if it's meant for you, but you got to be present. You see, the universe provides when we ask the questions, when we set an intention. The universe is just not going to let things fall into our laps.
No.
But when you are fully present, then you would know what the timing is. This quote that I love in Spanish, and what it translates is that we were the perfect love at the wrong time. And you still get heartbroken. You still go through that grieving process of losing the person you love because it wasn't under the right timing scope. So it's like you must be present. Half the things we don't see on the outside is because we're putting on blinders, because we don't want to see it. Because if we see it from outward, then guess what the hell we got to do? We got to do the inside work. So it's easier to just not look at things and be fully present in them and acknowledge that, yes, it's not the right time. Unrequited love is still love, right? So that saying that I love so much, it is true. And I'm sure many of us have experienced it, or we have had other people feel that way because it wasn't our timing, definitely, but they thought it was. Either way it is, there's still discomfort in the world. So what are you not seeing on the outside? What you choose not to see from the outside will indeed affect you on the inside. Because before we can fully see the colors of the rainbow, we have to inquire within and make sure that our attitude is positive, that we want to see the beauty of life. Because if you're in a dark place in here, then whatever you see on the outside, it's going to be gray. And whatever you eat, it's not going to have those flavors dancing nogonga on your palate. It's not going to waken you up whenever you taste that favorite thing. Like I had tiramisu the other day from an authentic Italian restaurant, Maron. Shouldn't have ate it, but it was so good going down. But when we choose to see things in the darkest shades on the outside, and somebody's like, oh my God, how beautiful is that? And you're like, inquire within. Because what we see through the windows of our soul, it's also reminding us, it's alerting us to what we need to discover on the inside. Now here, the Badass Buddha is so exciting. First day of school, right? Iris's grandson was last week. My grandson started school in Bridgeport last week. So I was like surprised when she told me yesterday that her daughter started shouting. I'm a Bridgeport girl, so I don't really know the schedules of everybody, but it is exciting and scary at the same time. So when she comes back, let's just send her positive vibes with that. Gail says, because I am missing clarity right now, I feel resistance, not a balance. Yeah. And then, when we can admit to that, that's growth. And instead of saying, oh, I have idiots surrounding me, the road rage or the news, or we're looking at videos and judging, we got to use discernment in our darkness, because we're looking at it through our lenses because of the way we're feeling. And when we don't have clarity and direction, then we think everyone around us is living in chaos and their energies is messing with us. We must be accountable for the inside of us so that the outside can be flourishing in abundance for whatever it is that we need. I don't need the 6-bedroom house that someone else has. Did I work? Am I going to sit here and say, well, I work harder, well, I did this and I deserve that? I don't want it. Even if I deserve it, I wouldn't want it because it's not my gig. But you got to see who you are inside so that you can value what you're seeing outside. You got to really focus on what you're seeing outside so you can know who the hell you are inside and what needs tweaking. Like Gail said, with her missing a bit of clarity, she's feeling resistance and out of balance. Okay, that's where the Badass Buddha and I were last week. Mine says, we've been with decision making and life-changing events has been occurring for months, but I think it's within the last week, because you know what they say, never give up, because when you choose to give up, you were like right around the corner from your success. And that's what happened. Like, we weren't giving up, but it was just right around that corner. We stuck in there. Last week, we finally said we're going to make decisions in our lives because we are the only ones held accountable for. So what did I see around me? I started seeing things on the outside for what they were without sugarcoating it, because I had an emotional attachment to it. And then my inside, my need for that inside really view one-on-one, no rose-colored glasses on. I saw it for what it was inside, because I allowed myself to see it on the outside as I'm looking and then realizing, This is why. So when we decide, because it's all up to ourselves, it's not a person, place, a thing that makes you see things with clarity or not. It's when you choose to really open your eyes and you see what's around you and you're like, why am I still here? Or why haven't I went up that staircase? I should have been up there. Why haven't I chosen to do that? And you can say, well, I didn't get promoted. Well, why not? Why not ask? Well, I've been on this project and according to blah, blah, it said I should blah, blah. And they said, well, can you break it down? So why is a question. Why are you not seeing what's around you? So that when you go inward and look out, you're going to see it for what it truly is. So you have to act yourself on the outside. And that's a great scenario. I've also been seeing a lot on social media how a lot of people have said that they're giving bonuses, right? I guess if you get hired at a company, ever since COVID, they're giving sign-on bonuses. And a lot of people were saying, why aren't they giving bonuses to the people who have been here through it all? And they're absolutely right. And I think that the more they speak up on it, the more the people are going to realize, a lot of people are so like this and just trying to get things done. We can see it from a different angle. Act on it. If you see that people are not rolling the way they should roll and it's affecting your lifestyle and you're not doing it out of any type of malice, but it's like, wait a minute, I should have gotten that promotion. I should have already been on the different level because everything is said I had to do, I did. Well, it's up to you to go up and disrupt that person's moment. Hey, listen, we need to talk. It's up to you to make the change that you need to be living. It's up to you to acknowledge whether, maybe I thought I should have been there, but it's not my time. It's all about what are you trying not to see, because then you must act. And a lot of us will pretend we don't see it because we don't want to act. We don't want to make that change, whether for our betterment or for a disruption to disrupt the still waters in order to get it flowing again. So Gail wrote, that was us last year, trusting the past to open possibilities. She's writing from the bus stop. Was most resistant last year, Glenn Curtis. Perseverance, life would throw you off cliff. Perseverance is so important. Life would throw you off the cliff before you are ready to jump. Hang on and keep going. And if you know what? And if the cliff and you're going to jump, let's hope there's water, glide. Because that's all that's in your control. Yeah. When we letting go requires trust in yourself and the universe and your ability to notice the truth. But then what is stopping us? When you cultivate self-trust, that's why I said when you feed your spirit kindness, gratitude, and the cultivation of self-trust that you have to choose. Since we were kids, our grandparents always say you reap what you sow. So what are you planting? What are the seeds that you're pushing down into the darkness? Because that is the only place they can grow. So think about you. When you think that you have reached your wit's end, remember, a seed must be buried in darkness for it to produce a harvest. So instead of thinking how everything's against you, how you don't have this, and think about life uninterrupted, which is nature. Why should we be any different? Why shouldn't we, hunker down and allow ourselves to be placed into that soil? You know what's that called? Cultivation of self-trust, which leads to self-love, which is the most difficult love you will ever encounter in this lifetime. And if you love challenges, then challenge to see yourself as you are. Don't pick yourself apart. You're not broken. See yourself as you are and then make the changes according to who you are. Okay? That's what you got to do. You don't got to put yourself and say, okay, I want to be like Jennifer Aniston, but I like Angelina Jolie, but I don't like that she took breath. No, that's what confuses you. Stay in your lane. You won't run into traffic. Discover who you are and then knock off the things that you don't like that you know have been holding you back. Feed yourself. Feed your spirit, kindness and gratitude. Be grateful that you're up today, which means that you can make today great according to who you are. Cultivate that self-trust because you know what? Letting go requires trust. Gail, we spoke about that. Forgiveness takes courage. I don't have my book near me. Forgiveness takes courage. Forgetting takes a lifetime. And letting go takes wisdom. And when you go from knowing, you're knowledgeable, and then you fill with wisdom, then the next step is to become a sage. And you know what? As long as if there's anything you know about this life is what you will and will not do, and walking in your truth and knowing that you are not here to judge anyone, to criticize anyone, to be in competition with the spirit you were yesterday, but that you are grateful that you are here and present in your today and you're going to do the best you can in the time that's allotted to you, then that's who you are. That's walking in your truth. That's saying no. I spoke to the badass Buddha yesterday and I said, you know, I want to be my granddaughter. My granddaughter will, when we FaceTime, she's 1.5, she'll be like, no, and look away. Like, no, I don't want to talk to you right now. Why have we gotten away of being authentically in ourselves? If it's no, it's no, it's no. Why are we not saying what we're feeling? Why are we not seeing that we are chipping away at our own selves and then blaming everyone around us? So what are you not seeing in your life? If you can jot down what in your life you are truly not seeing, then you can reach the space where you need to be right now, where you can write it down because you can make the change. The only time you can't change something is when you're 6 feet under. So to trust yourself enough to say, I'm going to lose some family, I'm going to lose some friends, but I'm going to walk in my truth. But are you really losing? Because are you acceptance of other people? If you can accept other people where they are, meet them where they are, then you're accepting them for who they are, right? You're accepting them, even 6 feet under, with the legacy of love and trust, others remember and grow. Yeah, but we can't change. That's what I'm saying. You can, up until your last breath, you can make the change of who you are, who you want to be, and how you want to be remembered. I think if you can walk in your truth and walk with your head held high and do good, if you do good, you know, when what you're giving out is kindness and love, and you're good to the people you meet, then guess what happens? You don't lose anybody. You gain. And we need to know, so many of us in this, since the uncertainty of 2020, we're so afraid to lose. Because it is in the sour moments that we appreciate the sweetness of life. Hello, Arlene and Darlene Kelly. You know, so you have to feel okay to lose. You will lose things. But if we're holding on to, if we're like this, then how can we acquire anything new in our lives as we're heading into the next chapter, into the next season? We can't. What's coming, was meant to come for us in those seasons won't come because we're too busy holding on to what was. So what are you seeing? What are you seeing? I wish somebody can answer. Gail, thank you. Love and truth, others will remember and grow. Yeah, I mean, even my parents, even that. Hi, Marina. There you are. I think when
Sorry.
people, when people refuse to acknowledge who they are because they're afraid of how others will perceive them, look at them, talk about them, judge them, do whatever, and they're walking a lie. And those are the most offensive people I have encountered. When people get defensive and know who you are, be solid, in who you are. So when you're out there, when you're looking out, what are you seeing? Two people can look at the same thing and one can come up with the darkest scenario explanation, and the other's like, oh my God, it is so beautiful. And the other person's like, what the hell are you looking at? So, one person's going to see opportunities and possibilities where the other person is just going to see garbage, waste, and just a loss of why am I going to do that? Nothing's going to come of it. Look, it's garbage. The ground, the grass, there's no grass. It's just dirt. What's going to grow there? While the other one is seeing so much opportunity in that piece of land. So that's how, if you're having a hard time, remember, there's yin yang, there's two sides to everything. We must remember that with the sweetness only comes after the sour, the rainbow. The sun rises after the storm. It's only nighttime for X amount of time before the sun rises and chases away all those demons. What are you allowing yourself to truly see outward? Go ahead.
Where'd you leave off? Did you answer any of the other questions? Have you asked any other questions? Okay.
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay, that's okay. So the thing is, so what and I was listening, but I was like partially listening, So what is, I have shit to let go in order to, yes, exactly, Gail. That's exactly true. So this is the stuff this is all we're doing today. And every time we have the show this month is starting the conversation, and then you must continue the conversation. So between now and the next show, and then the weekend before the next week's show, you have to answer these questions for yourself. This isn't a quick answer. This is a pondering. You have to sit quietly and do this. So what in your life are you not truly seeing, which Gladiator Guru has been going over intensely over the last 20 minutes that I haven't been present, and we were doing before, right? Now, how is it affecting your life? Once you identify it, how is it affecting your life? And list the things that you feel that you are truly not seeing, true on the outside of your life and on the inside. Did you get a chance to talk about the purge? Like when we were purging, did you talk anything about that?
No.
Okay. No. So part of the environment, the outside seeing, is you take a sweep of your bedroom, your bathroom, your kitchen, your basement, your attic, your living, anywhere in the house, all over the house, your yard, and really look and ask questions like, what have I been tolerating? Do I need these things anymore? Do these things serve me anymore? Do I have to have that pile of boxes sitting in the corner that's been there for 8 months because I said I'll get to them? And start thinking about the Great Purge. September is a very interesting month for this. September is a lot of yard sales. And I am no exception. I have been purging. I have invited my neighbors to join in on the day that I'm doing my yard sale to create a bigger, for people to come. And so I started going through stuff. And the irony is this: I started last weekend, but then I started getting into stuff that I have not touched. There were boxes I pulled down from my attic. I haven't moved in 25 years. I haven't moved them. And I started going through them and really deciding, do I want them? Some of them were collector items that I didn't. And I said, okay, do I want these? Do I not want these? Little did I know, Gladiator Guru was doing a massive purge herself. And we talked about this yesterday, and it was just so funny that we were both doing this at the same time. We weren't just doing the easy stuff. We were doing the deeper stuff, the stuff that had sentimental value, the stuff that we kept for a reason all these years thinking. And then we just got rid of it. I had 3 piles: garbage, recyclable, and then the yard sale. And the yard sale pile is there. I'm going to have the yard sale, and then whatever stays and doesn't sell is going to Goodwill. It's not staying. And so it starts with the physical. Once we did that, what did Gladiator Guru and I say to each other yesterday? You wouldn't believe the space that we have. There's more room in the rooms, And we feel not as crowded. We don't feel as cluttered. Clutter makes you cloudy internally. So now there's this open space and you can sit and go, wow, this is really nice. Why didn't I do this 2 freaking years ago? And I could have lived in this open space, but I didn't. And she didn't. So that's when you say, what's around me? Then when you sit quietly, that's when you say, what am I not seeing within myself? What are the things that I'm not seeing that need to be dealt with? Is it my values? Have I been true to myself and my values? And you have to be honest, and nobody else needs to see this. You don't need to discuss it with anybody unless you choose to, but you have got to write this on the paper. What am I not seeing? What is right in front of me? What is my life like? What was it? Is it playing in the way that I wanted it to play? Did I want this to happen? Now, sometimes we think when we're younger, this is how we want our life to go, and then it goes in a certain way, but we're okay with it. That's why this question comes into play. How is it affecting your life? Of those list of things that you've put, are they affecting you? And really, really think about it. If you
But how do they get there? How do they get there? When we speak to so many people about us, so many people have just allowed untruths. I'm not even going to say lies, untruths, or the people pleasing, or the accolades. And then they say, I don't do this for that, but you keep doing it for this. When you acknowledge that, that's when you can see things for how they are. Otherwise, your rose-colored glasses are just going to start getting poopy brown. And then you're just going to believe everything you see. And then you're going to believe the outside, and you're going to feel less worthy on the inside, which then is going to raise your defense mechanisms. And then you're going to be nasty and grouchy, and everything's always going to be the poopy color on the outside. Dale.
And don't be okay with the poopy color.
No, poopy color is not nice.
So the question to answer then is, how is it affecting your life? And you have to be honest. So if you say, well, those boxes sitting there for 8 months, they're not really bothering me. So bring it to a simpler term. What are you tolerating? When I got that question asked, and it's not the first time we've talked about it on the show, but when I had that question posed to me over a year ago, when I had to actually really sit with this, at first I think, oh, there wasn't that much. And I put like 1 or 2 things, but then I started adding more and more. And when you start to look at things that you tolerate means that you're okay with it, but you're not really okay with it. You just don't feel like dealing with it. But when you look at that and you go, you know what, now that I think about it, those boxes there suck. Those boxes sitting there for 8 months. And if you're still not 100% sure, move them out of the way and put them in a different spot and just look at that space for a minute without the boxes there. And now say to yourself, oh yeah, like these suck having them here. I need to go through these. So decide what it is on that list and how it's affecting you, and really sit with that one. How is it affecting you? Yeah, you know what? I really don't like this. And if that's what you're seeing and that answering that question, how is it affecting me? I'm not liking it. That is the one that needs to change. And you're going to put them like it's a hierarchy. You know, what's more important? What needs to change like immediately? What can you change immediately? You know, the things on the inside take a little finessing and time. But that box in the corner, those boxes in the corner can be done now. You say, well, I don't want to know. You could do them now. Well, I wanted to watch my show. Then grab a box, sit your ass on the couch, and go through the box while you watch your show. Don't make excuses anymore. Take one box at a time, if that's the case. But I'm going to tell you that once you start, don't just go one box. Say, no, I'm going to effing do this.
And you can, let me tell you, and for anybody watching that has known me for many years know that I've always been accused of being impulsive and spontaneous, because I've always done what I wanted when I wanted, and I didn't care who opposed it or who was for it. I always, if I wanted to do something, if I needed to go somewhere, if I wanted to speak to somebody, if I wanted to tell somebody I no longer want to share their space anymore, then that's how I was. Making that decision, it had nothing to do with the uncertainties of the world. It was just a huge thing. And I think walking in my seasonal sadness with my mom dying. See, when my dad died, I went numbed. So when my husband was diagnosed with ALS, my first reaction wasn't, oh my God, he's gonna die. My first reaction is, how the hell am I supposed to mourn this guy when I haven't even mourned my dad yet? Those were my exact reactions. I remember as if it was today. Then going forward, and then Eric dies. I'm at the funeral. I feel like a friend's cousin sister invited me because we had somewhere to go afterwards. So I'm standing at this funeral, same as with my dad, feeling nothing, like why am I here type of deal. And then my mom passes away, and then I'm like the Hoover Dam. So there are days where I'll miss my mom, and I know that that's where I'm crying. Then there's days I'm like, who the fuck am I mourning today? Because I don't even know. But that's walking in my truth. There's going to be days you can do that. But it's like my dad said, like what the badass Buddha was just telling you, it's absolutely correct. And you can accomplish that if you do not lie to yourself.
Yes.
Nunca te engañe. If you continue to lie to yourself that it's just for this time, or fuck it, I'm just going to do it now. I really don't like it, but so-and-so invited me, so I'm going to do it. You're lying to yourself, and you're never going to truly see what you're supposed to see in order to spiritually grow, to be on the road that you were born to be on. It's not going to happen. So it's not about blaming anything around you. It's not about saying it was foggy that day and there was a fork in the road and I know I should have went right, but I went left anyway because I just needed to get out of the fog. Is it the fog's fault? Was it because the fork in the road was so confusing you didn't know which way to go? No, it's because you chose that you didn't want to deal with the fog. You didn't want to see it through to the end. So you just took the closest turn there was to you. So always bring it back to you. What in your life are you truly not seeing? You're not seeing your truth in everything you're looking at. You're not comparing it. You're not weighing it with what are my core values. When you're out there seeing it.
That's good, Georgianne. Yep. I'm going to continue to purge. She realizes she has everything she needs. She thinks she needs more. There's the clarity. And everything that Gladiator Guru was saying before, if you do not face your shit, if you do not see it and deal with it, you will regret it. And then the two R's will come into play: regret and resent. You will regret your choices, not taking action. You will resent it for your life. And that is the harsh reality. And I also want to post something here is, where is it that Miss Arlene Kelly finally got rid of my things from high school. It was sad to do so. That is, you're honest with yourself. And I'm glad you brought that up because that's, again, what we were talking about. So Gladiator Guru was saying that yesterday. When she was purging stuff, emotions were coming up. And the interesting thing for me, I said the opposite. I'm like, when I was purging what I purged over the weekend, there was no emotion to it. I was so happy to say, get rid of this shit. I don't want it anymore. I don't even know why I held on to it all these years. But prior to that, prior purges, I was doing that. And there's still stuff that I need to do that I probably will feel emotional about. But when you are not attached to it, and you realize that the only truth, the only thing that matters is you and your thoughts and who you are, it's so much easier to move forward and let go because you are not confined anymore. Part of the resistance is the barriers that we put up mentally and emotionally. Part of it is a physical barrier. And then also the resistance of people around us, because as we change and we step into our truth, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to resist it because they're not used to you that way. They want you the other way because it worked for them. So these are all the things that you have to consider when you're thinking about what are you not seeing? You have to think, what am I seeing? Am I being held back by myself, my mental, my beliefs, my fears? Am I not seeing that people around me are taking advantage of me? Am I not seeing that the people that really need me, I'm not focusing on, but the people that don't matter? What's that expression, Gladiator Guru, that you like to say?
Yeah, people who mind don't matter, and people who matter don't mind.
Yep.
And you know what you were saying is true, Arlene. I purged. When I say I purge, I want to just real quick, but what you were saying is true, because the bottom line is that's what the badass Buddha just said is what I've been saying since the beginning. You have to see what's out there, and don't go according to each person and what they mean in your life, because then again you're devaluing yourself. I listened to this guy yesterday, and he said, and it was beautiful. And he said, when they told me when I need to speak to God to ask a specific question. Now, those who know me know I'm a heathen, but Jesus loves me because I believe in my God. And he said that, and he was crying when he said it, that he asked God, do I really love me? And then he said he felt all this stuff to say, how could you love yourself when you're too busy being there for everybody else around you? You're always showing up. You're always encouraging. You're always supporting. You're always like speaking truth into other people. Where's the time to love yourself? And that's what a lot of us go through. We think that we're going to be loved. Be kind. And when you're kind, do it with gratitude. But be who you are, because listen, it's God, me, then everybody else. I cannot say that I honor my Lord, I honor the higher spirit, I honor the universe, however you want to say. I'd say my God, if I'm not honoring who I am.
That's right.
If I believe there's something bigger than me, but yet I'm like, oh, my kids, oh, my grandkids, oh, I can't do this because then who's going to be there for them? I raised my kids. But how am I going to be there for my grandkids, for my loved ones, if I'm not there for me? And how am I honoring you by me not being present for me? I'm not honoring me or my higher power. So then that's where the weaknesses come in. That's where the confusions come in. That's when we see everything as being a shade darker than what it is, and we're not appreciating the beauty for what it means to us.
Thank you for that, Gail. Yes, Gail, and I love what you said, Gladiator. Absolutely. You first. To do what you need to do. And if you are in service to others, then you can do a greater job at servicing others. And then Gail said, being kind does not mean being a doormat. Nobody ever said that you could be kind and nice and trusting
and let me tell you,
compassionate and have no boundaries. Nobody ever said that.
The biggest doormats that I have met are the first ones to say exactly what you said, Gail. Because people who say, I ain't nobody's doormat. I've met people like that, and they are, but they use that like to deflect. If you are, be honest with see you, look at you, look in the mirror and see what's outside of you, and then sit with yourself and feel what's inside of you. I can't give you that. The badass Buddha can't give you that. I don't care how many fucking books are written on it.
You still have to do the work.
Have to do the work. You know what? Get up, get dressed, show up for you before you try to be there for me. And I'm always going to be honest. I was going through hell last week with decisions. With being in an indecisive state of mind was killing me. Yeah, because that's not me. It was killing me. And I withdrew from everybody because I needed to discover what I needed to do, how to do it, and be okay with that. So that's what we need to do. But you know what, Laura? What's the hardest thing for somebody to do?
Get started.
Love yourself.
Oh.
Get started and loving yourself. Get started and acknowledging who you are. And get started and saying, okay, I kind of fucked up the last 5 years because I gave in and I just let everybody else around me dictate my life. I don't think I want to do that anymore. Guess what? That is empowerment. Acknowledge that you allowed everybody to control your life for the past 5 years because it was easy, but now you don't like it. So guess what? Change, because that is taking your power back.
Yep. Taking your power back.
Never be ashamed of what you've done.
So
and celebrate your acknowledgement that, you know, I don't want to be that person no more.
So let's look. So what in your life are you truly not seeing? There's the question. How is it affecting your life? Okay, so that was the other question. And the last one is, what are you going to do about it? So if you say it's not affecting me, that's fine. then you can do is just cross that one off. Hopefully you're being honest that it's not affecting you. But do this. Put that one to the side. And then once you start to purge some other stuff, then go back to that one, because at that point, it might start affecting you. Okay. Yeah. Like you may say, those boxes aren't affecting me right now. Okay, great. And if you're really honest and say, no, they really don't. Okay, great. Now do some other work. And then as you purge, then go back to the boxes. And all of a sudden the boxes are like a sore thumb. You're like, okay, I got to get these effing things out of here. So what is it that you're not seeing? How is it affecting your life? And then what are you going to do about it? That's the action. So the other two were recognizing that you have control. You have to identify what it is. You have to be clear on it. Now this is, what are you going to do about it? Taking the action. So what are you going to do about this? If you're feeling a certain way, if you're fearful about a choice or something like that, what are you going to do about it? Well, I don't know. And this is a big common thing that people say, especially early on in coaching, because they're very lost. They're very stuck. And you say, well, what do you want? What do you want in your life? What are you going to do about that? I don't know. I don't know is not really an answer. It's an answer of indecisiveness, and you have to recognize that. But if you say, I don't know, then here are some tips. Reach out to people that you know that can support you. So if you say, my garage is a complete disaster, I need help. It's so overwhelming, but I got to get rid of this crap. I don't need it anymore. I don't know where to begin. You make a few calls to people and say, I need help. Brainstorm with me, physically be here, whatever it is. I just need to run this through. You might get beautiful friends that say, I'm coming over there. I'm going to help you, because they love doing that crap. They love rearranging, and you may have some that say, okay, well, let's think this through. Okay, so do you have a trailer? Do you have a pickup truck? Because if you don't, I have one. We can grab the bigger items. Do you want to get rid of it? Do you want to sell? They'll just keep throwing these ideas out there. Review. If it's the deeper stuff, podcasts, Viva Cafe con Leche. You could reach out to Gladiator Guru or I, because we're coaches. Get information, get direction, listen to things that are stimulating to you, read books, take notes, but understand that you have to take that information and do something with it.
Yes. Okay? Yes.
Create a plan.
Open, right? When you do ask for help, don't think everybody's going to say yeah. Because if you're going to ask me to come help you make pasteles, and I love you and I love pasteles, I'm going to tell you no, because that's not my gig. I'm like, you better call someone else, because I'm not going to sit there and be cooking. So, but you're still including me. So I'm going to honor that. I'll probably show up later to help you clean, because that's what I like. So never assume, well, I'm not going to ask because they're going to be busy doing something else. Ask. That is you taking your power. That is you being a goddess in awe of herself and saying, badass Buddha, gladiator guru, I have to make, 24 dozens pasteles for the holidays, but I'm going to need help. I'm doing this, at least doing the layout, cutting the paper, or whatever. Then we can say what we are capable or available to be at your service to do this and what, right? But they're going to be no's. But if you know these people, just accept it. It doesn't mean that they don't want you to, get out of your own mind. That's what this whole thing is about. Get out of your own way and ask. Absolutely. The clothes that I'm taking out, I personally am not donating to Goodwill. I am donating to a domestic violence shelters, the ones that women just show up and there's nothing there. Pillows, I'm taking pillows and some blankets and clothes. Why? Because they have children that show up at these places. It does get cold, whatever the case may be. That's what I'm going to do. Other stuff, I threw out pictures of me and my husband, may he rest in peace, that I know I have extra everywhere. I purged. I threw away his glasses. I threw away my mom's glasses because they hold energy. And it was emotional for me, but it felt good. It felt right. And we don't know what we're capable of dealing through until we take the step to go through it. So what are you seeing? What are you looking at? And then how does it make you feel? Vale.
Yep.
Oh, I fucking love you too, Georgianne DeCosta.
I just put that in there, Georgianne. That's what we want. See, do you see the power behind what Georgianne wrote? Is that we want you to be like done with this. I mean, I think the reality is that we're probably going to have to always end around 9:15 for the rest of September, because I think because we have so much to talk about. We want you to walk away from this and finish listening to this, no matter what time of the day you're listening to it. Look at that and go, I am on fire. You need the kick in the ass. You need that piece of it that's going to push you to make the change. That's why you have a tribe. That's why you need that motivation. Motivation, though, is temporary. Inspiration lasts a much longer time, but we do need that motivation to boost those chemicals in our brain to get us off our ass to do it. So if it means that you finish listening to this and you go, "Mine, that's it," and you get the kids up and you go, "Everybody off their ass. We're going in the garage, or we're going over here. We're going to go in the yard. We're doing something. Get in your rooms. Go clean up now." And the kids are like, "What the hell's going on?" But you're going to motivate and inspire them, because that's exactly what I did with my two kids. When I said, we're hitting that basement because we have got to get rid of stuff and we've got to organize stuff before November. And my kids jumped on board. These were the same kids that would say, "I don't want to get up," or "I don't want to throw anything out." The youngest one, she collects everything, even little broken things. That kid was throwing stuff out, selling stuff, recycling stuff. And the amount of the stuff that we got rid of is unbelievable. So this is where it starts, that energy, that collective energy. And we're going to throw one even better at you. As you answer these questions, we want to see your progress. So you're going to take pictures. We don't care what you take a picture of. It could be just what you wrote, what you're doing. Take a picture. It could be you in it, preferably if you want to put yourself in it. Then you're going to message it to us, and we are going to post it on the Viva page. And we're going to do our own too. Matter of fact, Gladiator Guru, you and I are going to take pictures of what we've cleaned and straightened up and purged and anything else that we're working on that we want to share. And we're going to post it to the page. All right. Because we are a tribe together. And the only way is to get this collective energy up for September so that we can end this year in a bang. Massive shift for October, massive shift for November, massive shift for December, going into January. Make shift happen.
And only you can. But you know what? Use discernment. Stop being so quick to judge and be jealous of what other people have because you feel you work just as hard. Use discernment. What I have is not your business. Worry about what you have, what you need to let go, and what you need to be open to receive. We all are born with a different priority and a different purpose. Don't lie to yourself. Know what you want, and if you don't know, then start start purging, because we might have more than we need. Gail wrote something here real quick. I know we're running out of time, but Gail wrote something here, this right here. Let me tell you, Gail. Somebody came over here the other day and they said, "No, you did not wallpaper your refrigerator." And I said, "I absolutely did. One, I love it. Two, it's old. My stove in my refrigerator I've had for a decade, right? So it's old. I traveled a lot after taking care. But what happens? They're old. They get a little rusty here and there. So I painted the sides of my stove with chalk paint, and I'll leave myself messages on it. The side of my refrigerator with chalk paint. I wallpapered that bitch. Did I have money to buy new ones? Absolutely. But why would I have to? They work perfectly fine. And I am eclectic. So they fit perfect in my...
They do indeed.
That's
yes, they
like
do.
a walking gallery. But people are like, "Oh, why don't you..." Even my kid, "Why don't you just buy a new one?" Look at it. Because I don't need a new one. Because this works fine. And that's what's happening in the last 10 to 20 years. We replace everything too quick, even when it's worthy, even when it's still dedicated to improving our lives at that moment. We get rid of it for something more shinier. Like, what the fuck are you, a bluebird? Like, why do we need to acquire shinier and more bling blingish or bigger when what we have works fine? That's because you're not feeding something inside. What are you not seeing inside of you that you think you need to replace with material things on the outside? You know, don't love anything that can't love you back. And that's all I have to say for today.
Fabulous. Fabulous. Look at that. Shiny squirrely syndrome. Yes, I always say that. I like shiny things. I'm a gem blingy kind of. I'm a blue jay. The Blue Jays are like that. Blue Jays love shiny. You want them to steal something, put something shiny on your back deck, and they will steal it. So this has been spectacular.
Spectacular.
Really and we know
everybody.
And on. Yes, we love it. This is so again, the challenge, okay? Answer the questions, add on Thursday's conversation. We're gonna have the same questions all month, but specific for that show. And start taking pictures, what you come up with. If you want to just share your list, that's fine. Take a picture of it, send it to us, messenger us, and then we'll post it on there. And this is going to be really, really, really exciting. Look at Milagros, nice and quiet. Milagro, we haven't heard
Marina, thank you for sharing what you did. Listen, ladies, this is all beautiful. Everything everybody had to say, it was so important to the show today. I thank you for taking the time out to type. Because everybody's, we all have our own thing going on, but we should always leave room for scripture. We should always leave room when people are talking about the word of God and when people are talking about who you are, because you know what? I am, therefore you are. And that's how it is. You got to let that flow through you. You are important. My favorite movie, The Help, you is smart, you is important, you is kind. Never does it say you are beautiful, you're popular, you're rich. No, you are smart, you are important, you are kind.
I love that theme too.
About yourself, okay? Because everything else is just that. Everything else. I've had money. I've been broke. I'm broke right now, but I've had money and I'm gonna have money. And you know what? Nothing phases me because I get up, I wash my ass, I dress up, and I show up for me, not for you, for me. And that makes all the difference in my world.
And I know her well enough that she washes her ass for her.
So let's get to purging, ladies. Let's get to, if we're crowded on the outside, we don't have clarity on the inside.
Vale? And thank you so much to Gail and Georgianne for that sharing that, throwing that love at us. We really, really appreciate that. All the love back to all of you. We would not be here without you. And you are here to support each other. So it's mutual. It is back and forth. We teach and you teach. So thank you so much, everybody. So we will see you Thursday. Very excited. Yes. And that conversation is, what are you not hearing? All right. So here we go. We love you, and take care and have a great day, and get, like Gladiator Guru said, start purging. Let's go. And from the Badass Buddha, remember, be you, be real, and be extraordinary.
And from the Gladiator Guru, mi gente, remember, breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. Namaste.
Namaste.